Okay, folks, I'm going to start introducing our next keynote speaker here. Our next keynote speaker is Dr. Kuo. She's a professor of special education at the National Taiwan Normal University. She has received 2 master's degrees from NTNU and the University of Pittsburgh from 1983 to 1986. And her PhD in gifted education, guidance, and counseling in 1992. She has been involved in gifted and talented education for a total of 35 years. Her publications and interests include classroom practice and effective pedagogies, cognitive development of children with special needs, assessment and identification of gifted students, counseling of gifted females, preschool gifted education, and the brain and learning. Dr. Kuo's current research focuses on neuropsychological and imaging studies of gifted students, policy development in gifted education, and a program for gifted and talented university students. Before Dr. Kuo comes up, I just want to ask you all, when the keynote is finished, would you please stay behind for just a minute, because I have another announcement at that time, okay? So without no more ado, I'd like to welcome Dr. Kuo.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to speak here. Yeah, and thank for the invitation from the organizers, and also thank for the introduction of President Grave. Thank you very much. And thank you for joining this session. Yeah. Today, I will share you with the finding of our research and brain study of mathematically and scientifically talented students. Let me look at the PowerPoint. Yeah. You can see there are a lot of papers in the literature about gender difference. And there is an interesting topic, whether it is nature or nurture. Yeah. But you can see a lot of gender stereotype in movies, in cartoon, in advertisement, right? Okay. And now I want to share you with a small video. Okay. Okay. Do you agree with this gender roles or behavior? Okay. Mm. Okay, concerning about the differences in biology. Yeah, if we look into the literature, we can find that male had larger gray matter volume in temporal lobe and occipital lobe, and female had a larger gray matter volume in frontal lobe and also in parietal lobe. Yeah, see. So, occipital lobe is here. It is related with visual spatial. And temporal lobe is here. It is related with hearing or memory. And frontal lobe is here. It is related with higher cognitive behavior or emotion. And where the parietal lobe is here. It related with motor and with calculating and some areas. Yeah, okay. And if we look at the ability of science and math, researchers also tell us that gender difference is quite significant. And as teachers of gifted students, we can also find many talented boys in math and science class than female students, right? I think it's usually 3-1. Yeah, such kind of percentage. Okay. And specifically, female or even gifted female were less confident of math and science performance than males, or gifted males did. Okay. For gifted females, some research also investigate their confidence or expectation, and they found gifted males they have lower expectation than their male counterparts. Okay, that's what the literature says. And there has been a lot of research exploring gifted students' psychological traits instead of physical characteristics. In order to further understand gifted students from the point of neuropsychology and try to link psychology to physiology, I started to investigate the brain structure and function of the mathematical and scientifically talented students since 2006. Here is the whole picture of our research. The major variables are, you can look the right column, psychological difference include overexcitability, include cognitive styles, and IQ and achievement. And other biological studies include the brain volume differences, function difference in math and figure reasoning test, and also view emotional pictures. Okay, our subjects are from senior high school students to junior high school and to university students. In 2011 to 2014, we spent our study to study mathematically talented students with Asperger's syndrome and without Asperger's syndromes. And we have some findings about their social behavior and their functional difference in working memory and other areas. Okay. So today, I will focus on gender difference in brain structure and also reasoning ability. That's only a small part of our research. And here I have to thank our team for their assistance during these 10 years. Yeah, without them, I can have such kind of findings or write the papers. Yeah. My participants are mathematics and scientific talented students in science talented classes, of course. They have to pass the identification. Usually, we test with achievement test and also math and science aptitude test. For elementary students, we use intelligence test too, okay? But for high school students, usually we didn't use a lot of individual difference because the population are quite large, okay? And this is the first part. In 2005, we surveyed 73 senior high school students and 53 junior high school students. Of course, they have male and female, and also there are control group that's typically developing students. Yes. And the participants were randomly selected from northern Taiwan because doing MRI study is not convenient for student comes from the whole part of Taiwan. So it's in northern part of Taiwan. And all participants of science and talented students have been studying in science talented class. The typically developing students were recruited from non-gifted program. Yeah, okay. And we can find there are significant difference between two groups of students in high school intelligence test. It's intelligence test modified from OT's intelligence test. And there are also significant difference in the basic competence test between talented students and regular students. This basic competence test is a nationwide competence test. When students have to go into the senior high school or university, they have to take the competence test. Okay, so it's national test, yeah. And here is the difference you can tell from talented students and the regular students, both in IQ test and in achievement test, okay. And for the difference in brain structure, we use both the best morphometry to analyze the difference, okay. And we found that were no significant difference between talented students and also typically developing students, whether in gray matter volume or in white matter volume, yeah. However, there are a lot of difference in several brain areas. For right hemisphere, we can see talented students owns larger gray matter volume. Involvement area 44, that's precentral gyrus. And in left hemisphere, we can find a lot of difference. You can see in precuneus, in anterior lobe, common, inferior temporal gyrus, fusiform gyrus, superior temporal gyrus, subgyrus, and cerebellum, okay? And this area, according to the literature, Broadman area 7, 10, cerebellum, is positive correlated with IQ. And for Broadman area 44, actually it's Broca area. It is positive correlated with higher general fluid intelligence. And for Broadman area 37, is fusiform gyrus. It is positive correlated with math ability, okay. So you can see the finding is in line with the literature, okay. The fact that science and talented students had a larger gray matter in these areas could explain their quick and high quality response to learning. Yeah, an important thing is the visual form gyrus is related to math and science ability. Yeah. However, we can also find that there are a lot of difference that typically developing students on larger gray matter volume than talented students. I feel very surprised about this. These areas include Broadman area 4 is precenter gyrus, middle frontal gyrus, inferior parietal lobe, and temporal parietal joint is Broadman area 40, and also other areas. Okay, both in left hemisphere and right hemisphere. There are a lot of difference you can tell. Of course, if there are no significant difference between group in the total brain volume, then when gifted student has some areas superior to talented students, of course, then talented student, typically developed student also has some area that have on larger gray matter volume than gifted students, right? Okay, yeah. What makes us very worried is about that the Broadman area 4 and 6, which are in frontal lobe, precenter gyrus, and temporal parietal joint, they are known to be functionally related to motor function and also empathy, ability, theory of mind are related. So we are wondering that if talented students has poor empathy than typically development student. That's what we are asking about this question. Okay. Okay. See, this is the brain map. I use this. I think everyone will understand more. So the green one is the place that gifted and talented students on larger gray volume than typically developing students. That's for left hemisphere here and right hemisphere. Conversely, the red part is the area which typically develops students on larger gray matter volume. Okay, and related to function, this area, for example, Broadman area 4 and 6 and 40 is quite related to somatosensory and motor. And of course, for frontal lobe is highly related with cognitive ability, which the blue area is the area I just mentioned that talented students owns larger gray matter. And how about the gender difference? Okay, now I start to talk about gender difference. For gender difference, these two groups students, we can tell there are no significant difference both in IQ test and math and science achievement test. So they are equal in IQ and ability, okay? So if there are any difference related to brain structure or to brain function, I would like to say it's more biological oriented because they are equal in IQ and the learned achievement, right? Okay? Okay. So, let us see the difference. I skipped the literature, okay? I think I don't have enough time to mention this and everyone knows the difference. Okay, some literature, they found that they say the gender difference showed male have superior mathematical reasoning ability to female, and male gifted student had excellent visual and geometric ability. I think everyone knows this, okay? So, in this study, we have 36 talented students and 37 typically developed students. Among them, there are equivalent number of male and female, okay? Now, it's the difference. We can see from this statistic table, okay? Science talented male students, we can tell they had a larger gray matter volume in some brain area, like lenticle nucleus, like cerebellum, and visual form gyrus, and also lingual gyrus, and other area related with information processing, okay? So, in summary, they are males had larger gray matter volume in temporal lobe, in physiform gyrus, in superior temporal gyrus, inferior temporal gyrus. For occipital lobe, they have their own large gray matter volume in left lingual gyrus and the bilateral cerebellum. And for others include right amygdala, right caudate body, bilateral putamen, and left medial globus pallidus. Okay, this area, everyone knows, is related with emotion and related with information processing. Yeah. How about female students? Female students own large gray matter volume in several areas. That's the area I just mentioned. It's inferior parietal lobe. We can see the female students on the larger GMV here. Let me just say GMV. It's very hard for me to pronunciation because I'm not a native speaker, okay? And there are a lot of difference in frontal gyrus, include inferior frontal gyrus, middle frontal gyrus, superior frontal gyrus, a lot of difference in these areas, very, very significantly. And also hypothalamus as well, okay? So this is the image here, okay? And we can find, in summary, female students on larger GMV than male students in a lot of places in frontal lobe. And then some in parietal lobe and in other area like hypothalamus and cingulate, right? Cingulate gyrus, okay. So female students had larger gray matter volume than these males in cognitive and somatosensory cortices. We can conclude, yes, and there's a difference. You can compare the difference between talented students and the difference between typically developing students. They are quite similar to the literature, which say the difference between male and female. But we also find other difference in our studies. We may attend to more difference between talented male and talented female. Yeah. For males, we found they have larger GMV in feature form, in temporal gyrus, lingual gyrus, put on, amygdala, cult body, and globus pallidus that may not reported in general literature. Let's compare the male difference and male and female gender difference, okay? And for females, this brain area favorite gifted females were in charge of cognition, motor, and somatosensory functions. So I like to ask, there are structural differences significantly. And what were the difference in brain function? So I'd like to go to the second PowerPoint. I have 3 PowerPoint today. I hope I speak quick enough. Okay, so I may skip some PowerPoint, okay? So what we do is a numerical reasoning task, figural reasoning task, and emotion task. And reasoning ability, as you know, the ability to perceive the relationship between multiple pieces of information. And the number series test was widely used in the aptitude test to measure where a person is mathematically talented. And numerous researchers have used the number series test to identify math talented students from 12 to 13 years old. Yeah. And for our reasoning task, the numerical reasoning task was designed by my student, Ching-Chih, who is a math teacher in Taipei Municipal Jianguo Senior High School. It's the top high school in Taipei. And the figure reasoning task was designed by Robert Stenberg. Of course, I got his approval to use his test, okay? And this item were visually presented on a Google display system. The items were divided into 3 kinds of difficulty level according to the accuracy rates in each group. Yeah. And what do you find? Oh, this is the example of items of varying difficulty levels. The easy item, the difficulty is from 0.70 to, of course, or pass. An intermediate item is from 0.69 to 0.39, and difficulty item is from 0.38, and of course, non-pass the test. Okay, here is the example of the item, okay? And we hypothesized that the brain operation on higher cognitive tests of talented students exhibits a network of parietal frontal integration. We also hypothesized that sex-related difference in brain activation can be observed. It is our experimental design, okay? So you can see there are 10 seconds of fixed time and 70.5 seconds for viewing the stimulus, and the 2.5 seconds for response, okay? When subjects see the red fixation, they have to push button to response, okay? And we use block design, of course. It's mean easy, medium, or something, okay? And what's the finding of the number reasoning task? Okay. Here is the accuracy rate for different difficulty level. You can see from here, for science talented students, more items are easy. For typically developed students, more items are difficult. But when we calculate the response, we calculate according to the accuracy rates. It means the difficulty are the same for each group, okay? And we found for junior high school male, is science talented male, they activate more in frontal lobe, in superior frontal gyrus, and medial frontal gyrus, and also midi-temporal gyrus than talented junior female when they are solving easy items. So it's cognitive related area, okay, here. And for junior male, when they solving difficulty items, their brain activated more in inferior frontal, medial frontal gyrus again, and also inferior parietal lobe, and also in cluster, okay? Later I will explain this, okay? And they also activate higher in medial frontal gyrus when they are solving intermediate items. It looks that male, the brain of male activate more during solving different difficulty items, okay? Okay. And how about the talented students and typically developed students? We can see when solving difficulty items, talented junior high school boys, they activate more in frontal gyrus 2, again, the cognitive related area, okay? Okay. And for senior high school student, we can see senior high school talented male students activate more in thalamus, in anterior nucleus, and inferior parietal lobes than female talented students when they are solving intermediate problem. That's different from junior high school students. So the activate area are different from junior and senior, okay? And for difficulty items, senior talented male activate more in inferior parietal lobe, and senior female students activate more in cuneals. What this image difference tell us? Okay. Okay, I will tell later. And here is the intra-difference, comparisons of intra-difference. We can see if senior female student solving easy items, they activate more than solving difficulty items in temporal gyrus and also superior front gyrus left hemisphere. And senior male, when they solving easy items, they activate more in middle temporal gyrus and supramarginal gyrus. And senior male talented students, their brain activate more in middle frontal gyrus and also lentiform nucleus putamen. Okay, it's quite difficult to understand for most colleagues here because you didn't do such kind of research. But let me skip to a picture. Okay, here is a parietal frontal integration theory of intelligence. When we go to literature, we can find John and Heyer. In 2007, they reviewed 37 modern neural image studies in attempt to understand how brain and behavior are linked through the expression of intelligence and reason. And the importance of the PFIT model to intelligence and reasoning can be summarized into 4 stages that help us to understand the difference of our findings. Okay. Stage 1 is process sensory information. For the visual part, when the visual input come in, it's related with extrastriate cortex. It's Broadman area 18, 19, and the fusiform gyrus, Broadman area 37. They are involving recognition and subsequent imaginary and also elaboration of visual input. So stage 1, of course, is sensory processing. Okay. And for auditory, Wernicke's area is involving analyze and the elaboration of syntax of auditory information. Okay. For stage 2, it's related with integration and abstraction. They assume this basic sensory and perceptual processing is then fed forward to the parietal cortex, predominantly the supermajor, superior parietal, and the angular gyrus, wherein structure, symbolism, abstraction, and elaboration emerge. So it's integration and abstraction stage. For stage 3, there are problem solve, evaluate, and hypothesis test. They fully assume the parietal cortex interacts with frontal regions, which serve to hypothesis test various solutions to a given problem. So it's important, it's related with problem solving. Okay. And for stage 4, it's response. Once the best solution is arrived upon, the anterior cingulate is engaged to constrain response selection, as well as inhibit other competing responses. Okay, we can see this. If I make summary here, we can tell in stage 1, our gifted female student, they activate more than male students. And during stage 2 and stage 3, you can see our male students activate more than female students in this area. And stage 4 is response. Okay, so we can summarize the difference here. Okay, and what does it mean related to brain structure and brain function? We can tell functionally our talented male students activate more in integration, abstraction, problem solving, evaluate, and hypothesis test. For female student, they activate higher during stage 1. That's process sensory information. Okay? However, if we look back to see the brain structure difference, I found if students with larger gray matter volume during the reasoning test, they don't need to activate higher in the area they had larger gray matter volume. Conversely, if the student owned lower gray matter volumes, then they have to work very hard during problem solving. So we can find male student had smaller gray motor volume than did the female in cognitive and somatosensory cortex. However, their brain activate higher in this area during problem solving. Conversely, female student had a smaller gray motor volume than did the male in the cortical area involved in the extract cortex and physiform gyrus, involving recognition and subsequent imaginary or elaboration of visual input. However, their brain activity higher in this area during problem solving. So, we may ask, if the gray matter volume larger, then the functional behavior may be lower because students doesn't need to work very hard, okay? So in nature, gifted males, they have to work harder than gifted female in cognitive related area. While gifted female, they have to work hard in visual spatial related area. Okay, that's what I found in reasoning problem solving. Okay. And for figural difference, let me talk about figural difference. Okay. Figural reasoning task. Okay. Here is the task. Okay. Okay. We also found a significant difference between gender. For example, you can find talented male student. Their brain activates more when solving difficulty items in caudate, in inferior parietal lobe, which they have lower gray matter volume than regular students and than female students. And the female students activate more than male when solving difficulty problems in post-sensory gyrus. Okay. And for intermediate problems, you can see again male students, they work hard in inferior parietal lobe, which they have lower gray matter volume than regular or female students. While female senior high school students, they activate more in cuneals that related with visual input or visual integration. Okay, that's the area female student activate more. Okay, and the one thing I have to mention, if the students they are solving difficult problem, the working area will happen more in cognitive related area, like a frontal lobe or like the thalamus. However, if they are solving easy question, the working area activate more in cuneals that's related with visual input or other place. Okay. Okay. So for gender difference during numerical reason task, there is the whole picture. Junior high school student and senior high school student. The male student, when they are solving easy question or when they are solving difficult question, we can tell the activated area are not the same. It means when solving different difficulty items, students use different strategy to solve the problem because they switch the activate area to the other. But for male student, the activator happened more in frontal gyrus and the inferior parietal lobe. Okay. And for a senior high school student, male students also activate more in Broman area 40. And senior female student, they activate more in cuneus that related with visual input. And for figural reasoning task, the same. Male students activate more in frontal and parietal. And the female student activate more in cuneus. I think the findings of my research are quite agree, yes, because female and male student, they activate more whenever they are numerical or figural. It's looked that a female student, their brain activate more in visual spatial related area, and the male student activate more in frontal, higher cognitive ability, and inferior parietal lobe, which are related with problem integration. Yeah. Okay. And for typically developed students, of course, we found that the findings are not the same with the talented gender difference. Okay. Another very interesting finding is my student's research. She studied gender difference in mental rotation task. And we can see there are different eye movement behavior between genders. This is a boy with high mental rotation ability. Oh, this is female, sorry, it's female, okay. This is the stimulus item. And we can see when she solved the problem, her eye moved from the stimulus item to A, to B, to C, to D. She look each different choice and finally make decision. But how about the boy? This is a student with superior mental rotation ability. What's the behavior that are different from girls? So here is the stimulus item. His eye directly here. And make a response. No other place, no other choice he go to. He just fix in one answer. That's the difference from male and female. When solving problem, it looks that men solve the problem very quickly, very intuitive, and then make a response. And for girls, they look here, this, that, here, there. They take a lot of time and then make a decision, right? So when talking about shopping behavior. Men need only 5 minutes. However, female need 5 hours, right? Is it true? Okay. I think I don't have enough time, but let me go to the third PowerPoint. Okay. For viewing emotion pictures. Okay, sorry. For viewing emotional picture, we can, the function of emotion problem solving or viewing a problem picture may relate it with some place like visual cortex, some place like prefrontal cortex that involved in emotional manager, and the limbic system, which allows the emotion. And we can see this area are all related with emotion response, okay? And emotion are quite related with memory. Because if you see a picture like this man, that's maybe a man that reminds of some unhappier bad experience here. Then when you look at this picture, then you may think you see him as if he were a monster, react, and you may relate it with a bully from school or the person in the office that managed to push their button, an emotional negative memory may stimulate, okay? Here is emotion. And also when we study emotion, it's quite related with empathy. Okay, we use different emotional picture, positive, negative, and neutral. What's the finding? Okay, let me skip this to the end, okay? I don't want to delay. So, conclusion. That science-talented junior high school girls exhibit higher brain activation than the talented boys when viewing the emotional pictures in temporal gyrus, precentral gyrus, postcentral gyrus, and the cuneus. These areas are related with memory, cognition, and visual, and the boy exhibit higher brain activation in cuneus than the talented girls when viewing the negative picture. It indicated that the existence of sex difference in functional brain activation during visual cognitive tests. But I think the finding is not concluded with the brain activation in solving cognitive reasoning ability. It's different. So we say the brain is quite complex. The same area may correlate positive with some function, but the negative with other function. So it's hard to say whether the larger the gray matter volume, and then the function must be not so activated, because for different tasks, there are different findings, okay? Okay, there exists the difference in biology. There also exists a difference in learned behavior. But I think there is not the most important thing. The most important thing is we have to know how girls and boys learn. We like to make all our students become talented. And we like to help each student develop their strengths. Thus, I'd like to conclude it that teachers or educators, we need to understand more about the biology and behavior in gender difference. However, we have to teach in different way, which may improve the learning. For example, if we see this, here is a video. I don't know if you agree or not.
There are many differences between boys and girls, especially when it comes to the way they learn. Ann Dolan is the president and the founder of Educational Connections Tutoring. She's here to explain what some studies have found that can help us understand the differences between boys and girls in the classroom. Good to see you, Ann.
Thanks, Melanie. You too.
So this is important because if we know how they learn, we can teach them better, right?
Absolutely. And it is so different for boys and girls. You know, boys really like a teacher who walks around the room and speaks in a loud voice, whereas girls really like the teacher who's right up in front of them and speaks in a calm, soothing voice. Different in the way they approach their instructors even.
Why do you think boys like a loud?
Okay, if you have time, you go to the YouTube and find this video. I think I don't have time to display more. And the final thing I have to mention, although there is a statistically difference between groups, there are great individual difference. So we have to understand more about the individual difference. And for now, some stereotypes should be changed. We can
All right, so
see
when we left off in the last
now
video, I have been talking
the
about
role
social role
of
theory
men
and the fact that
and
we
women,
tend to develop
or the
behaviors
of
that
men
are going to be
and
appropriate for the
women
roles
are
that we
changed.
have in life.
Just
And
like
historically, men and women
this
occupy
video
very
say,
different social
social
roles.
roles
And we've seen in the last
change.
couple slides.
Men
That's
and
certainly
women's
population
behavior
skills.
change.
However, more
And
recently,
when we look
of
at
course, we're
this,
seeing that
we
the
can
roles that
say
men and women take on
biology
are starting to vary a
difference
little bit more.
may
So
not the most
women
important
are-
thing.
You're going to see more women now than you
Education
used to
is the
in
most
high-status roles. So we
important
see,
thing.
that women
So
are
we
more
have
likely
to
be,
set
in
higher
leadership positions. They are more
expectation
likely to
for
be,
everyone, no matter
in the
he
higher
is man
status, higher wage
or
earning
female.
positions.
Agree?
Conversely, we also see
Thank you.
that men are
Thank
starting
you
to
for
take
your
on some
attention.
of the lower status roles. So we're more likely to see men in a caregiving.
It's working. Okay, folks, that was a wonderful presentation, Dr. Kuo, and I wonder, does anybody have a question out there that they would like to ask? And I wonder, would somebody help me by maybe walking around with the microphone? There's a lady up there. Thank you.
And I ask people to speak slowly and loudly because I'm not a native speaker, okay?
And don't forget, I have another announcement to make after this, so if some of you would please stay, okay? Thank you.
At the end of your talk, you were saying something about individual differences. And I wondered, since you're doing statistical analyses here, you were talking mostly about between group differences.
Yes.
But what about within group differences? Did you see great within group differences, among the boys and among the girls?
Yeah, actually, I didn't look very carefully about within difference, but I look one thing in another project. That I compare the working memory between autism and normal students. And for within difference, I looked at that the student with with Asperger's syndrome, or we say autism spectrum disorder now, there are great within difference, individual difference. Students with higher intelligence of autism students, of course, their function their brain function are similar to normal student. But for student with average IQ or lower IQ than average, their functional is quite a difference. For example, when doing working memory test, this student, their strategy never changed. Whether easy item, intermediate, or difficult, they use the same strategy. But you may ask if they did poor performance. No, they did the same performance with other normal talented students. But their brain activate very stick in one kind of strategy. That's they use a lot of visual input, visual integration strategy related with the area of occipital. For other students, when they're doing difficult items, they may use different brain areas to solve the problem. But for the autism student with lower IQ, their strategy are the same when they meet a different kind of problem. That's what I observe. So I say there are a lot of individual difference within the group. And thank you for your remind. I will do more to analyze if there are within difference, whether in boys and we girls. Too many things to write, too many things to analyze. So it's only 1 point of 100 in my finding. Many things to do still. Thank you. Thank you for your suggestion.
Is there another question? Up that way. Yeah, go up the middle. Very interesting.
Very boring speech, right?
Oh.
Huh? Very boring, right? No? Thank you. I feel it very boring.
Hi, Dr. Ko, thank you
Hi.
very much. I found it very interesting.
Oh, okay.
This is the end of
Based
the
on your
keynote. What
results,
time is it?
do you think it's best for
Okay,
teachers
all right,
to help
I'll close it
students
up. That's
use
okay.
their strengths and their strategies that come naturally to them to compensate for their weaknesses? Or do you think teachers should also focus on the students' weaker strategies and help them improve those weaker strategies?
Very good question. And my opinion, I would rather to help students develop their strengths and needs. I don't like to focus on remediate the weakness. Because if you help students to develop their strengths and needs, it's time saving. The effect is very significant, and it's also improve the confidence. When your confidence improved, then your weakness area will move up. Do you agree? But most parents focus on remedial weakness, and I found students are quite unhappy every day, feel distress, because it's difficult to make a significant improvement during remediate the weakness. So I would like to improve the weakness with the developing of strengths. Do everyone agree with me?
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very, very much,
Yes.
Professor Ko, for
Thank you.
your wonderful speech.
Uh-huh.
And this is a gift.
Wow, so
from
lovely.
the
Thank you very
committee
much.
there.
Yes.
And okay, folks, listen, I don't think I have time to show you what I wanted to show you actually, because we have the next presenter here
Yeah.
coming on board. But thank you very much. One last thing, just quickly, I was just going to tell you that we're trying to do fundraising for the scholarship fund. And one of the things that you can do, if you'd like, I happen to be an artist, and every single conference I have donated a piece of my artwork in case someone wants to go to the desk out there and have a look at it. Maybe someone might like to make a donation and purchase it. If you would, the funds do go to the scholarship fund. It's this piece here. And I was going to put it up on the board, but we don't have time, okay? It'll be over at the World Council desk. And it's an Icelandic pony. It's called Icelandic Joy. This is actually not a print. This is an original, okay? So we'll leave it at that, folks, okay? Bye-bye. Thank you.